What's up, buttercups? How are you guys doing on this magnificently golden day? Well, before we start this video, let me just move my 370Z out under the sun so you guys can see the golden things that I've done to my headlights. Ooh, cold start, I can never forget that. So today is gonna be golden because I'm gonna be showing you guys how to have these done to your headlights. Okay, so as you can see, they pretty much look super golden. Like they look black, of course, but they're golden. But one thing you also notice is that they're not just clean, but I actually took them out and I sprayed the interior of the headlights. So this video, a disclaimer before we start this video. This video is not for the faint-hearted, or this another video. The steps, the procedures that go into making your headlights look like this, I sound like a Jamaican person. Make your headlight looks like this. What makes your headlights look like this is not for the faint of heart. So you might be better off actually giving it to a professional instead of doing it on your own. But me, I'm a cheap college student that wants to have the most golden things done without making myself broke in the process. So I pretty much did it on my own. And for the whole process, I'll put the exact amount I spent on everything, but it wasn't up to $50. So it was pretty cool. And why I say this is not for the faint of heart is because you're pretty much gonna be not just taking apart the bumper, but you're gonna be taking apart the headlights, taking up all the wiring from inside, and you're also gonna be literally baking the headlights. Yeah, that's a lot of people have never heard of that before. Like if you're not a car person, you've never heard of it, but you're pretty much gonna literally have to bake the headlights because there's silicone in there that needs to melt in order for you to like pry open the headlights and take apart the lenses and everything so you can spray paint the housing. So with that, let's get started with this golden video. Yeah. So the first step in this whole process is just taking apart the front bumper, because you cannot take off the headlights without taking apart the bumper. So I'm gonna open the trunk, or open the whatever this thing is called, and then take apart all the pins that are there, then go under and take apart all the nuts and bolts that are underneath the car as well. So let's do this. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand, so this is impossible. And it's hot, so good advice. Do not do this when the engine is hot, but I'm doing it because I'm very silly. Oh gosh, yep, I did it. So now I'm gonna take apart all these tabs from here. They're really easy to take apart, and then all the screws, the hard work is pretty much under the car. And inside the whatever, fender wells, I don't know what these things are called. Now we just have to pray that it doesn't fall on my head when I'm editing. Oh, sorry, when I'm taking out this thing. And so when you get the bumper out, the next thing is detaching the headlights from the car. So before you take apart the headlight, there's a few push pins that you need to remove. Let me see if I can show you them real quick. So the first thing is you have to get access to the push pins, to the bolts that are underneath all these covers. And so the first thing you need to do is take out all these push pins. So when you take apart all the push pins, there's one here. I think there was one here, but I can't really find where the hole went. But anyway, so there's a bolt there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. And then you take this thing apart as well. And there's another bolt there. And then when you take apart the bumper, there's one bolt there. And then there's another bolt that's under this headlight. So you take those apart and then you get it out of the thing. So when you're done with detaching the headlights, the next part is pretty much removing the wiring harness from inside the headlights. So that you're gonna have to figure it out kind of on your own. So when you look at it, it's kind of intuitive with the way it's set up. So you have to pretty much detach the wiring harness. I think it's like there's like 4 connectors there that attach to the wiring harness. And so when you remove the 4 connectors, you're pretty much golden. And And then pretty much the next thing is just unscrewing everything, every screw that you can find. And after that, the next step is to take apart the housing for the LEDs and all the lights and stuff. So that's kind of hard to take apart, and it's also kind of scary because you have to be listening for a particular click. When you get that click, and then you can take apart the LED housing and the LEDs. And also be mindful, do not touch the lights, the LEDs, or the lights, the halogen, or whatever. I don't know what they're made of, but don't touch them. Try not to touch them with your bare hands because it can damage the bulbs. Do not do what I'm doing right now. There's a kind of like a nut bolt situation that when you turn it, it can never get unturned or never come out. So that's pretty much on there to pretty much adjust the halogen or the LED. I don't know what they're called, but don't take that off. So I'm headed to my friend's house now because I pretty much need to bake the headlights, but I do not have any source of bakery whatsoever. So I need to do that. So I need to head over to her house now, and yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so this is gonna be really funny because I literally haven't told my friend what exactly I'm bringing to her house. So I just want to see the reaction on her face. She also doesn't let me film. Oh gosh. She also doesn't let me film where she's at. So this is gonna be hard to catch a reaction, but if I do, then you'll see it. I'll be back, my brother. I have to go now. Yeah, this is what I'm baking. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine.
No!
I trust my heart, hope to live.
Oh, but you're gonna set on fire!
So I don't know why, but Brandy is actually really scared that I'm gonna blow up her house. So this is gonna be an awesome experiment. Brandy, if you see fire coming from this kitchen, then just...
This is a real sketchy looking oven.
It is really sketchy. I wish everything works.
No.
So before you start baking, don't just think about baking yet. Hold on, because before you start baking, you need to test fit the oven to see if the headlight fits.
Oh, it doesn't fit.
Oh, it totally does.
It definitely doesn't.
And make sure it doesn't touch any sides of the oven whatsoever. So it can be like this close, because I know mine was literally like this close to touching, but it didn't touch, because if it touches, you're literally subjecting the oven to like temperatures of 240 degrees Fahrenheit. And so you're going to be subjecting that for about 14-ish minutes. And so if you do that and it's touching the oven, I'm so sorry, but your headlight is almost definitely going to melt. And so you don't want to subject the headlights to that. I actually don't know if this is gonna go bad.
It's gonna be really difficult to put in there whenever it's hot.
And the next thing you want to do is get a towel, a wet towel. Or first of all, you don't get a wet towel. You have to make the towel wet for yourself. So when you get the towel, you make it wet and make sure you leave enough moisture in the towel, because again, you're going to be subjecting the towel to temperatures of 240 degrees for about 14 minutes, not 15, 14 minutes. So you don't want the towel to bake or roast or set your house on fire. So you have to take every precaution that's necessary. So you get that wet towel and you put it in the cookie pan or whatever, and make sure you cover it, and then you rest the headlight on the cookie pan, and then you bake it pretty much. And again, do not let any part of the headlight touch any part of the oven, so you do not roast your headlights and you do not melt them.
Oh my gosh, this is so gonna be fun.
This is so sketchy. Oh, no, what am I doing?
I was about to say that's definitely.
Yeah, that's. Oh, yes. That looks way less sketchy now.
This looks pretty sketchy to me.
Hey, it's in there. Okay. I've actually never done anything like this before, and this is really sketchy. And so we have to take precautions. And I brought the fire extinguisher that was in my car. Oh gosh. And Brandy is standing there ready to call 911 just in case. So yeah. And also put the headlights in an upright position as well, like the way I'm doing. Do not put them upside down, because again, they might be subject to melting as well. And I know, yes, a lot of people said 250 degrees, for 14 minutes, but I couldn't risk it until I put mine on 240 just to be safe. And then set your timer for 14 minutes, and if you smell any fire, just open it and spray some fire extinguisher. Then after you're done baking them, you pretty much bring them out from the oven, and with someone's help. It's not advisable to do it on your own. You can, because I did some part of it on my own, but just it's easier to use someone's help. So you should be like kind of like opening it, like trying to pry it open, and the person should be using like a knife or a screwdriver to kind of go through the sides and kind of like cut through, so it's easier for you to pry it open.
Well, just do it.
I can't do it alone.
No, I can't do it.
Here you go. Just hold the knife. Just be like opening it.
How?
Like put it there. Yes. Oh, that is hot. That's as hot as gold. Ah! Hey! Hey! And then when it's done, you just disassemble the headlight and spray it, and you're golden. And one more thing, when you're taking out the headlight, you also do not want to spray paint this. You can if you want to, but I choose to take mine out, and this light here as well. I choose to take both of them out and just spray paint just the housing. And you could also choose to spray paint this ring thingy here, like maybe a yellow or a blue or whatever color you want. Oh, I should have spray painted it red. Crap! I didn't think of that. But anyway, maybe that's for a later video. Oh, come on! I knew something was gonna break. I have problems. Ooh! Ooh! I have no idea how I'm gonna put all these things back. I'm just breaking things. Amazing. Ooh!
Isn't it supposed to be gold?
No. No, I just called it a golden color. I want to spray paint it black.
Use the black one.
You play baseball, Kendall?
I play soccer.
That's pretty cool. I don't.
Well, this season, we won every game except for one.
Oh, that's awesome. Good job. And a lot of you guys had told me before to clean my headlights because they were so dirty. They were nasty. They were brown. So I also had to do that as well. I've never done this before again. So yeah. I have no idea if what I'm doing is even right. No, golden.
Golden.
Exactly. And I'll leave a full link in the description with whose tutorials I used. You guys probably know Chris Fix. He was the one that pretty much got the whole process, or I copied the process from, of actually cleaning the headlights permanently to avoid permanent yellowing of the headlights and to make it constantly golden. That actually doesn't sound very right. But anyway, I'll leave his link in the description so you guys can check it out. When you're done with that process of taking apart the headlights, spraying and everything, the next thing you want to do is reverse everything. So put it back together the way it was before you put it in the oven, and then you put it back in the oven because you want the adhesive to fuse everything back together as well. So when you put it back, leave it for 240 degrees for 14 minutes. And then when you're done with that, you fuse the headlights together, press everything together with all the force you have, and then put the headlight back together and stick it on the golden car. So yeah. Ow, ow. Morning, partners. It is literally morning. It's like 3:30 a.m. My phone battery just died, so I don't really know the exact time. If you guys think I was joking about the time, just look at it. Look, 3:19 a.m. But I finally finished working on the Golden 370Z. I am super tired, super hungry, but I had to finish working on it today because first of all, I set a deadline for myself that I was gonna work on it no later than a day. And also, it's gonna rain today, so this morning. So yeah, I have to get it done. But it's time to go to bed. I think it looks pretty golden. I'll show you guys exactly how it looks tomorrow. I'm so tired now, I can't even talk. But thank you all so much for watching this golden video. And I'll catch you guys at the next golden drive. See ya.